my own journey. And it could be a interesting story also, and also something that could lead to a deeper, you see, perception. See, what happened to me was as follows. I was very, very closely associated with my father. As a boy, you know, I loved him beyond words can express. I could give my life for him many times if it was necessary. Very deep affection and connection with him. And I believe he also had the same feeling for me, but for me it was like this. When you're deeply, deeply, you're connected with somebody, and you can give your life for this person many times. That was my connection. And then when I was 19, when I was in the medical college, when I was looking forward to finishing my medical education and joining him in his clinic and working together with him and living, my life together with him. At that point, 2 years before I could graduate, he developed cancer, very advanced cancer. And he lived only for 6 months after that. There was untold suffering and pain. He went through so much agony because of the cancer. And he struggled a lot. He also did a lot of work. He tried to write his last books. He wrote one book and he edited 5 of his books, knowing fully well that he wouldn't survive. And he was worried a lot about me. What will happen to me and what will happen to my mother and all of these things. But then, in the last days of his life, the last maybe 1 week or 10 days, I found that suddenly he had become very, very relaxed, very calm. I don't know how this happened. What changed? Where did all his pain disappear? Where did all his anxiety disappear? Where did all his struggle disappear? I have no idea. And then I remember the last day of his life when I went there and I tried to give him some assurance. And I said, you will survive, you will live. I know it. I have prayed to the saints for you. I've offered my life to them for you. You will live. And he smiled at me. Just that beautiful, beautiful, completely peaceful smile. I cannot forget it even till this day. It is now more than 40 years have gone. He smiled at me. He put his hand up, put 3 fingers up, and I knew that he would only last for 3 days. That's what he was saying. And exactly after 3 days, he was gone with that same smile. Something had changed in him. Some realization, some peace, some acceptance, some kind of giving up in some beautiful sense had happened. And he was so relaxed and confident that everything that was to happen will happen exactly as it should happen. That we are all merely instruments in a great design of creation. And things will go on and go on exactly the way they are supposed to go on. Should have that kind of perception, that kind of realization that the cycle of creation just goes on without us or with us. You know, there is a comedian, and somebody asked him, "What happens after death?" And he said, "Everything is exactly the same, only you are not there." Everything happens exactly the same, only you are not there. The cycle of creation just goes on and on. We come and go. This body, this identity, it comes and it disappears. Isn't it so? We are the temporary beings, isn't it? I remember once, I was in Toronto, and my both sons were young at that time. This was many, many years ago. So I thought I will take them to the planetarium. And I remember that three of us, we went, myself and my 2 sons, into that planetarium. And there, it was a funny one because you were not sitting, you were actually lying down, on the floor. And you could see upstairs the dome of the planetarium. And then they showed, you see, the size of a human being, 6 feet, 6.5 foot at the most. And then they kind of zoomed out and they showed the size of the human being in comparison to his city, in comparison later to his state, to his country, to his subcontinent, to his continent. Can you at this moment zoom out? Can you try and do that right now? Imagine you're sitting somewhere in front of your computer or your phone. And then you start to zoom out. You see yourself as a part of your family. You become a little bigger than your individual self. You have a bigger identity as a part of a group, a family, a part of a society, a part of a state or a city, a part of a nation. Can you imagine yourself among hundreds of thousands of people, one among millions, and later on, one among billions? Can you see yourself like a little pinhead among billions of pinheads? Can you visualize that right now? Really, it is so revealing. It is so eye-opening. Just be with that. This is the journey I undertook. I'm sharing that with you. I saw myself one pinhead among millions, billions of humans, and humans itself as a part of a much bigger creation of planet Earth. We are just a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of all the space on Earth, the seas and the mountains, and the plants and the animals, and the miles and miles that you can go into the Earth. We are just on the surface. We are not even on the skin of this Earth. Can you see yourself right now as a part of that planet? Can you go on a spaceship imaginatively and look at the Earth and see if you can locate yourself in it? Is it possible? And then zoom out into the solar system with all the planets and the sun. Where are you? Even the Earth is difficult to spot here. And zoom out into the Milky Way, which has so many thousands of solar systems. Where are you now? And zoom out of the Milky Way, which is a galaxy among millions of galaxies that comprise this universe. Where are you? How big are you? How much in space and time are you? In billions and billions and billions and billions of light years, your life, hopefully with homeopathy also, is 100 years. What is that in relative terms? How much space And time do we occupy relative to space and time that there is, isn't it? Maybe this kind of thoughts might have gone on in my father's mind, this realization that you are a very small fraction, a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of creation. And how much importance do we give it? Oh, I, me, my position. How dare he talk to me like that? My God, he's insulted me. Oh, he's disappointed me. Oh, I didn't get that what I wanted. How much noise we make, we who are not even a mosquito in the scheme of things. Isn't it so? Can you experience all this right now? Can you see yourself relative to creation? This visit to the planetarium was an enlightening moment in my life, I must say. I think I came out with my eyes wide open, isn't it? I mean, we know all these things, isn't it? But to actually experience it, to know it deep within, is another matter altogether. So, going back to my story, my father died. I was 19. I was completely heartbroken. I felt there is no meaning to life. I felt I don't want to be here. I felt I wanted to become a monk. I wanted to dissociate myself with this planet where there is so much grief, so much loss. I couldn't bear the thought of continuing to be here. So, with this thought that I want to become a monk, sannyasi, I approached a very, very revered man, a saint. His name was Chandrasekharendra Saraswati. He was the Shankaracharya, or one would call it like the Pope in Hindu religion, a Pope of South India. He comes from a lineage of several pontiffs, several popes, tracing back to the first one who started this lineage, whose name was Adi Shankaracharya, the first one. The man I went to was the 68th pontiff in that lineage, tracing back to several hundred years. When I went to him to seek permission and blessings to become a monk, I found that he was not talking. He was in what you call maun or a vow of silence for several months. He had not spoken a word. And therefore, I did not get his permission or blessings to become a monk, and I had to return back and continue with my uh, studies in medicine. And I decided that as a tribute to my father, whom I loved so much, I would do such excellent work in homeopathy that would make my father proud. And I put my whole life into this kind of mission. And I didn't look left or right, just one track that I will do excellent, excellent work. So my life just went on like that, and I was doing a lot of work, doing a lot of creative work, a lot of satisfying work. And had a very good set of friends who were very supportive and loving. And I was carrying on life like this. But somewhere in the depth of my heart, there was a seeking. There was a kind of desire and inquisitiveness to know the truth, to know why we are here. What is the purpose? What's our life meant for? Are we here just to eat and sleep and make money, enjoy, have pleasure, make a name? And die? Is that it? Is this what life is about? We are always involved in so many problems and so many situations, so many emotions, so many fears and anxieties and moments of pleasure and joy. Is that all there is to it? What is it that these enlightened beings talk about? They talk about the soul, they talk about the Brahman, they talk about enlightenment, about realization, about nirvana. What is all this about? Is there another dimension that I don't know? I read about. I've read books of Ramana. I've read other spiritual. I was interested in the life of saints. I've read the autobiography of a yogi by Paramahamsa Yogananda. Those amazing things they write about, those experiences, that realization. What is it all about? This curiosity, this inquisitiveness. It was there all the time, even since I was a child. Maybe that's the thing that created the desire to become a monk. You see, the fact that all of you are here today and you are listening to me, in my understanding, it means that you all have this question in your mind. You see, that this question also comes to our mind because of grace. It doesn't come to everybody. Many people live their lives with pleasure and pain, and that's about it. Moments of pleasure, lot of moments of pain and anger and grief and whatnot. And then they die. Isn't it so? But in a few people, in a few humans, this question arises. Is this all? Is that all there is to it? Are we destined to go through these ups and downs of life and then die and be forgotten also? These questions were in my head. And you see, everything has to have a moment, an opportunity. You see, things have to happen in their time. Why it happens, all these things? How do these coincidences happen? Who knows? But it looks like, to me at least, that everything in your life happens for a reason. And everything in your life can be used as an opportunity to know yourself and to evolve and to come closer and closer to the truth. And you have to keep your awareness open for opportunities that come, whether it may be a crisis moment or it may be just this talk that we are doing right now. This may be the opportunity. It depends how you take it. You can hear what I'm saying like a story and forget it tomorrow. Maybe even tonight, who knows? But maybe there is a message coming through me, not from me. It's your soul will speak to itself. Why am I telling you this story? Because something in me says I should. Maybe it's there to help somebody. I don't know. Maybe to help myself also. These things are not pre-planned. I have no idea what I'm going to say now. But I trust that in these spiritual things, the right thing happens. See, spirituality is something that is spontaneous. It is not from the mind, it is not planned. It is your experience in the moment. And any word from anyone could trigger your spiritual journey. You see, there is a movie called The Guide. You know? The Guide was a novel written by R.K. Narayan, a famous Indian writer. And they made it into a movie starring Devanand. And there is a scene in the movie where, you know, this guy is like he's hungry, he's starving, and he has no food, you know, like almost like a beggar. And he has tattered clothes and he's got a beard and all of these things, you know, because he has no money. And he goes and just sits outside the temple wall because he doesn't know where to go. And the priest of the temple just tosses a garland outside the temple, and coincidentally it falls on this guy's neck. You know, he's not even aware of it. And so here is a guy with a beard and tattered clothes just sitting on the floor on the road outside a temple. And you know, in India how it is. So somebody thinks he's a saint because saints look like this with tattered clothes and they sit on the floor and they have a garland around their neck. Somebody says, oh, this guy must be a saint. So they go and pester him. They said, tell us the truth. Tell us about God. Tell us about, does God really exist? Tell us everything. How can we get to see God? This guy, he's just hungry. He has no idea what they are asking. And they are pestering him. So he says, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. And they say, wow, what an amazing statement. He says, I don't know. Wow, what amazing knowledge he's giving us. He's telling us that God is something that cannot be known. And he's saying that there is no I to know it. My God, the supreme truth in 3 words. You see. So this truth didn't come from this fellow. The truth was triggered within the person who heard it. His own grace, his own realization was triggered. So anything can trigger you, trigger your awareness, your realization. See, even a donkey can do it. If you are ready for it, anything is your guru. Anything is your guru. Who is your guru? Your guru is your own spirit, your own truth. The guru is God, the God that dwells inside you, who you really are. And it is by the grace of that God or that guru inside you that you develop this inquisitiveness, this desire to know the truth. That spirit in you wants to know itself, to become aware of itself. It wants to see itself. And when that spirit within you is ready for it, anybody, anything, any incident, even a grief, even a crisis becomes your trigger, your guru. So it is possible that I was ready. They say that when the seeker is ready, the guru will appear. And what this means is that when the seeker is ready, anybody who appears is the guru. This is the because the guru is sitting inside, not outside. So when you're ready, this guru is reflected by somebody outside. And you think that is the guru. That's not the guru. It's just the mirror of your own internal soul, isn't it? So if you listen through your inner guru right now, maybe something gets triggered. We don't know. It may be happening right now to you. You'll never know. The words don't have so much meaning. The story, not so important. It's something very subtle that could be happening at this moment. When you become in touch with something far, far expansive, bigger, more permanent than this little body mind, this little voice that is speaking, this little ear that is hearing, this little mind that is trying to grasp the unfathomable, understand the unknowable. Give it up. Give up your desire to know or to fathom or to reason. Give up the search. And see what is left right now in this moment. When you give up all desire, the desire to acquire, the desire for pleasure, the desire for security, the desire for good health, the desire for permanence, and also the desire to know, even the desire for enlightenment, even the desire for peace. When you give up all the desire right now, in this moment, there is no other moment than this. There is no homework at all. It's right now is the only moment that there is. Can you at this moment give up every desire that you have? Only for few minutes, not more. You can get all of them back. At 8:30, you will get an email with all your desires coming back to you, no problem. But till 8:30, can you give up every desire you have, even the desire to know or the desire for peace? And when you give up all your desires, what is left? Can you experience that at this moment? Just give up. Give up. Just accept what there is. Don't seek anything. Don't look for anything. Just be. Maybe this was the state my father was in the last days of his life. No desire, no seeking, just be. Can you feel a whole burden lift off you? All the weight, all the pressure of seeking, wanting, desiring. Such a big pressure on you. I have to do this, I have to do that, I must achieve, I must be loved, I want money, I want health, I want security. What should I do? What should I do? When you just let go, are you still there? Do you still exist? Exist as what? What do you exist as? You as a father want something. You as a businessman want something. You as a spiritual seeker want something. But when all these desires are gone, what do you exist as? What is it in you that has no desires, no wants, that just is? Can you get in touch with this? This being that is not a father, not a brother, not a wife, not a doctor, not a lawyer, not a businessman, not an angry, not a sad. It just is. Just let go. Give up looking, seeking, wanting, desiring, just for the moment. Get in touch with the I that has no name, no form, no desires, no wants, no needs. It is in itself complete. It needs nothing to feel peaceful because it is peace itself. It has nothing to want to feel love because it is love itself. Love flows from it, encompasses the entire creation in it. Can we be in this state? Are we already in this state? Are we already there? Just be it. Is there anything other than this? Is there something outside of this? Is this what you are? Does it have a beginning or an end? Is it limited to you as a body, as a mind, as a thought? this silence, this peace, this timeless, spaceless expanse that encompasses the entire creation for all time. This is the real I. This I knows nothing. It is knowledge itself, truth itself. Everything is encompassed in it. Everything is contained in it. Knowledge and ignorance, truth and falsehood, love and hate. And yet, it's none of this. It is the space in which all of it is contained. Every emotion, every thought, every memory, every human, every animal, every non-material thing, every energy, it's all included in this beingness, the entire universe. Let go your identity, your desires, your thoughts, your memories, and open up to your true identity, your true self, your true I. Everything comes and goes except this I, this beingness. Every experience, every thought, every memory, every imagination, every dream, every experience appears and disappears. Only what remains unchanging is being. Being as what? Being as existence itself, unlimited. That's our true self, who we really are. If your eyes are closed, reorient yourself to current space and time. Where are you sitting? What time is it? What's around you? Etc. etc. And then, as you orient yourself, let your eyes open and feel the same sense of being or peace despite your open eyes. Meditation is not doing something, it is just being. It is getting in touch with your true self, the unchanging self, which is not this body mind. It is being or existence itself. And the more you practice it, the more you inculcate it, the more you get in touch with it, the more you repeat this, the more it will become firm within you. And then the vagaries of life, grief and sorrow and even happiness will not affect you nearly even a fraction of what it used to do before. You will see everything as coming and going, and you will remain equanimous. In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked to Krishna, Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshavaha sthitidihi kim vibhasheta vibhasita vajreta kim. O Krishna, how does a man who is enlightened, how does he walk, how does he talk, how does he behave, how does he live? And Krishna says, he's equanimous. Things don't affect him so much. He never goes too high or too low. He sees the world for what it is. He sees himself for who he is. So somebody asked a famous guru, what happens after enlightenment? The guru said, well, before enlightenment, you eat your breakfast. And after enlightenment, you eat your breakfast. You do exactly the same thing. The body mind will do its own thing. It will go through its journey. But you shift your identity to something far, far bigger. That's all. That makes the difference. What do we get by becoming, realizing all this? What is our advantage? We always want to know, what is our advantage? Well, I'm sorry to say, there's no advantage whatsoever. It's simply something that your soul wants you to do if you're ready for it. You have no choice. So, this is all I want to say today. The story never got completed, so maybe another time. Maybe the story is still going on, and maybe the story continues in your life. So this is a story without an end. We never know what happened. It's a big suspense. Doesn't matter. Life is a suspense too. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Huh? Just live in the moment and just be. Not be this or be that or be happy or sad or just be. Just be. Just be. Anyway, I want to share with you that, the Sampurnam Healing website, we did a meditation workshop for 7 days from May 1 to May 7. It went very well. It was step by step and into deeper and deeper. Every day was one step deeper. So we have put this recording on our website and you can register for it. Somebody will give you the registration link. And what I suggest you do is, even those who have done it can do it again. You all the days recordings are there, but you do one day at a time and at a fixed time and a fixed place. You see, I think morning 7 o'clock is a good time, or whenever, early, you do some warm up, some physical exercise. You don't go to sleep, do some warm up. And after that, just sit. It's 1 hour every day and do every day consecutively for 7 days. And after that, I'm planning to be with you live almost every Wednesday morning. Every Wednesday or every Thursday, I don't remember, but I think it's every Wednesday morning. And 1 hour we will do. After 2-3 weeks, because I want to give you the time to go through those 7 days of recording. So this is all I want to say, and I think somebody has to say something more, right? You're welcome to share your experience on the chat box if you want to. Address it to all panelists and attendees. You see there's a drop-down menu where you're typing your messages. So go to panelists and attendees. And they are asking where they can register, etc. So please, somebody give this information.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was a beautiful journey within. And to inculcate, to repeat, and follow it more often, and to be in a state of equanimity, we are glad to present to you a week, 7 day long of guided meditation by Dr. Rajan Sankaran. You must have gotten a mail or a message, and there is a link as you can see on the screen. If you click on the screen, you can register yourselves and have access to the 7 day meditation sessions. Or if you have any queries regarding that, then you can contact Reema Shah. We have her number here and also the email address. Also, during such difficult times, the other song, Homeopathic Clinic, we have online consultations available. So if you have any queries or questions or you want to get in touch with us, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you so much for attending today. It was beautiful to have you all here and share this experience. If you have any queries or questions regarding the upcoming meditation sessions or any other sessions, then we would be very glad to hear from you. And we also have a residential retreat, which is called Birth, which is building immunity and resistance to homeopathy, which is usually sir does it residentially, but right now because of such time, we are planning to upgrade it to do it online. If you want to know anything about that as well, please reach out to us. And thank you so much, sir, and each one of you for joining today. Thank you. Take care and stay safe.